All right. What's up, y'all? It's Coach Clark's Corner. I'm Isaac Clark. If it's your first time, checking in on me, tuning in, just want to say welcome. Thank you guys for checking us out. Um, who am I? Well, I'm just a coach. I'm speaking from a coach and a parent's point of view. So, with that being said, topic of the day will be um, reasons why people aren't playing youth football. It seems like there's a war on youth football. Number one thing that I've got from parents, and it's been a lot of parents, is concussions. That's always the hot topic. That's the biggest topic, in professional and college ball, um, which is understandable. We should be concerned and we should be worried about concussions. With that being said, if the reason why you don't allow your child to play football is for concussions, then that's kind of a cop out. If you really love the sport and you want your child to get a shot at, progressing in the sport, then instead of running from the sport and saying I'm gonna wait till they get older, get them involved while they're younger and teach them the proper techniques. You know, if you instill in them the proper techniques, proper ways to tackle, proper ways to hit, um, then you have a better chance of not getting a concussion if that's your worry. Number one, some people are they're just subject to getting concussions. All right, you got guys that get punched in the stomach and they get a concussion. So um, some people, they can just get concussions more than other people. That's just the way it is. Now, to combat that with numbers, a lot of you guys probably thinking concussions, and and youth football is probably the number one sport for concussions. I know that's what everybody talk about. First of all, the majority of the kids in youth football can't even hit hard enough. Especially the younger age groups, they can't hit hard enough. To really deliver a blow. You talking about a 7, 8-year-old kid. That's probably one or two kids on the team that's really hitting. And then the rest of the kids on the team, they just out there kind of just going through the motions. That's the perfect time to be able to slow the game down and instill the proper way to tackle. Tackling is the most dangerous part of the game. So that's the reason why you parents should be also helping out with that. If your kid is struggling in math, well, you go home and let me help you with your homework. Let me, download a program that'll help you. I tell parents all the time, if you don't understand the game, if you can't teach what we're teaching, all you got to do is log in on YouTube. Proper tackling, rugby style tackling, Seahawk or Hawk method of tackling, heads up tackling. We're trying to get away from the heads up tackling because it's heads up tackling is good for the neck, all right, but it still encourages helmet to helmet contact, and we're trying to take the head out of tackling altogether. There's some youth coaches that they don't like those alternative forms of tackling because it's hard for a child to master those forms of tackling. They're worried about the child making a tackle. I'd rather you attempt a Seahawk or a rugby style tackle and miss the tackle, but you got your head out of the way. Whereas the old school, oh well, they taught us how to tackle. You just put your face mask in the middle of their chest. I'm gonna tell you right now, for you, all you coaches, all you parents out there, if you hear that, you need to, one, get rid of that coach, or you need to pick your kid up and leave. because apparently they have not educated themselves, they have not furthered their education and knowledge in the game, and they don't care about your child's safety. Um, but back on the whole concussions and football thing. First of all, football isn't even the number one leading concussion sport for youth. You know, if I told you girls basketball, girls soccer was right on that same level as far as concussions per player, you'd probably be a little surprised. But we don't hear about that, you know. Another big problem with, you know, injuries in youth sports, specializations. Every single study that's out there right now, the majority of the injuries come from kids doing the same sport all year long. You think you're protecting your player or your athlete or your child by saying, oh, he gonna play basketball year round, or he gonna play, you know, baseball year round because it's a non-contact sport. Do your research, parents. Do your research, coaches. You know, I know you want to keep your players. You want to keep that revenue flowing. Some people, but if you really in the best interest of the kids, then you would be advising them they should be active year round, but they shouldn't be doing the same sport all year round. You know, 1-2 seasons of basketball, 1-2 seasons of soccer, you know, and then you're gonna go to something else. You know, especially for these young girls, man, they really do. You know, look up the numbers. I'm not your stat guy, but I've been doing my research the last 2 nights, and you know, the majority of the experts blame youth injuries on specializations. And you know, high school girls soccer is on the same rate and level for concussions as high school football. See, a lot of times when we think about concussions and we think about injuries, we only think about these contact sports. But I guarantee you, if you get off Facebook and you go to Google and you just log in, most popular injuries in youth sports, and you look at the type of athletes that's getting hurt, it won't be, you know, predominantly football players, and there's a lot of girls on there. First thing, going back to concussions, it deals with the type of blow. You know, it don't necessarily have to be the hardest hit in the world for you to get a concussion. You know, just like I talked about already, you could just be the type of person that just naturally get concussions. But there is a lot to do with the impact and the force, the type of helmets that you're wearing. You know, what type of face mask you have on your helmet. You know, if you got an outdated helmet, you know, or whatnot, you parents, you might stop being cheap. You know, go and get them a new helmet, or talk to your coach. Maybe they have some extra helmets. But the little 85-pound kid that's running around, you know, the field for the most part, that's not the kid that's really in the danger zone of concussions. The main ones are the 2 or 3 really advanced kids that are flying around the field. You know, they're a little bit ahead of everybody else. You know, they're a little bit more athletic. They're a little bit faster than everybody else. Those are the ones, because they're the ones really delivering the blow, you know. So, you know, you really need to look out for them. Parents, bottom line, man, there's nothing you can do to, you know, if you really want to protect your child from getting a concussion, best thing you can do is just keep them in the house all day long. I mean, it's sad and it's kind of comical, but that's the truth, you know. Um, Concussions are concussions, man. Like you, nah, that check that. We want to protect our kids from concussions. Listen, upgrade their helmets. That's number one. Upgrade all of their gear. You know, that's number two. Teach them proper techniques on how to tackle, how to block. Have them look at YouTube videos to go over the stuff that the coach is telling them. Lastly, educate yourself on the signs and symptoms of a concussion and what do I need to do if I suspect one. If he got popped real good in the game and he's saying, oh, Mom, I got a headache. Okay, what do I need to do? No, it's not suck it up and get back in the game. No. Stop. Your season's over with. Until you go and get a doctor to say, no, he's okay. The majority of doctors, it's really hard to tell if somebody got a concussion. So the majority of doctors are going to tell you to take 2 weeks off, just like anything else. You go in there, with my back hurt. You know what? Take 2 weeks. Hey, here's some medication. You know, come back in 2 weeks. I'll check you out then. And they going to ask you them same questions. Is your head hurting? You know, or whatnot. But truthfully, it falls on us as parents. It falls on us as the adults. But the moral to the story is stop hiding. You know, you cannot protect your child from that. If you're waiting till they get to middle school because you say, oh, well, he'll be older, or middle school training, they will not get the same type of educated training that they will from playing youth sports. They will not. And if you are in a program that you feel like the coaches aren't educated, then you need to get out, because I'll put my coaching staff up against just about every single high school coaching staff in the state as far as the amount of education, the amount of extra education that they'll go and study and get on their own, and then the amount of care they put into it. And I'm not saying that any school, you know, these school coaches don't care or this and that. You know, that's not what I'm saying, because I know they out there grinding for these kids. They love them. But I'm telling you, you need to get with a coaching staff that's just as passionate about your child as you are. But yeah, that's it, man. That's just my little, you know, tidbit on concussions and why shouldn't I play football at a youth level. And, you know, I mean, I'm telling you like this, man. Like, I think you putting yourself at a disadvantage. You know, as far as technique, listen, the fast kid gonna always be the fast kid. The strong kid, he gonna be the strong kid. You know, that's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is you can get years and reps after reps after reps of tackling, of blocking, of listening to football terminology in a safer environment. Because I'm telling you, by the time you get to school, you know, high school, it's guns blazing. You got kids over 200 pounds. You know, so just my bit, you know, Coach Clark Corner. Check me out, like, subscribe, you know, my YouTube channel. I appreciate you guys. I'm sorry if you can't hear me. I'm trying to keep my voice down because, you know, my son's sleeping. Anybody that got toddlers, but, you know, you don't wake a sleeping toddler. So until next time, you know, probably going to be on the football field from my next video. So I'll see y'all. Peace. Be safe.